So Harry moved the ball with the help of the bat, breaking his nose and sent it zigzagging away into the air. Breaking his nose, and he sent the ball back in the air, and it was moving like a zigzag. It zoomed around their heads and then shot at Wood, who dived on top of it and managed to pin it to the ground. And when the ball hit the, it was about to hit the Wood, he dived on the ball and he managed to pin it to the ground, means to stop the ball at the ground. C. Wood panted, forcing the struggling blood girl back into the crate and strapping it down safely. Now, here the Oliver Wood indicated the Harry Potter that see how it works. He took out the ball. The ball attacked on the face of the Harry Potter. Then Harry Potter swung it into the air with the help of the bat. Then it shot the Oliver Wood. Then Oliver Wood dived over the ball and managed to stop it at the ground. So, seeing all this process, now Oliver Wood is indicated him see how it works, and Wood painted, forcing the struggling blackbird back into the crate and strapping it down safely. And he again put that ball inside the crate and again strapped it. Strapped it means to tie it inside the box. We have discussed earlier that when Harry Potter was trying to take out the ball out of the box, he felt that he had to put some struggle to take out the ball out of the box, as if it was tied with some chain, and he was not able to take it out, and Oliver Wood took it out. So he again put the ball in the box in the same manner. Actually, no chain was there. It was some magical force which was stopping anyone from taking out the ball out of the box. The Bloodgers rocket around trying to knock players off their brooms. That's why you have two beaters on each team. The Weasley twins are ours. Now he explained about the beaters. So far he explained about the chasers, keepers, and now he was explaining about the beaters. Three chasers, one keeper, and two beaters. That means he has explained about the six players of the team. And how many players were there in the team? In total, there were seven players in each team, and by the time Oliver would have explained about six of them. So here he is mentioning that the Weasley twins, the twins who were known as the Weasley twins, were their beaters. It's their job to protect their side from the Bloodgers and try and knock them towards the other team. So it is the job of the beaters that if any Bloodger is coming to their side, they should turn it around or give it the direction for the other team and to save their team. So think you have got all that. And now Oliver would ask him, so I think now you understood all this. Three chasers try and score with the quaffle. The keeper guards the goalpost. The beaters keep the Bloodgers away from their team. Harry reeled off. Reeled off means he repeated the thing. There is a reel and he repeated those things here. So by the time he understood about these players, and again he repeated as he was repeating after each and every instruction. Very good, said Wood. So when Oliver Wood said him very good because he was able to remember all the instructions and all the rules of the game. Here, have the Bloodgers ever killed anyone? Harry asked, hoping he sounded offhand. Offhand means is interested. So now Harry Potter asked him, because here we can see as the example given earlier that the Bloodgurs could attack anyone. It may hurt someone badly. So that's why he asked, Bloodgurs ever killed anyone? He asked this question, but he did not seem very much interested in knowing the answer. Never at Hogwarts. We have had a couple of broken jaws, but nothing worse than that. Oliver would reply, no, nothing of that sort happened ever. Uh, two times, a couple of times means two times the jaws were broken, but nothing more than that. Now, the last member of the team is the seeker. We have discussed about the sixth player, only the seventh player was remaining, and that is the seeker. So, we have discussed about the chasers, the keepers, the beaters, and the seeker. Who are all we have discussed about in this game? Chasers, keepers, beaters, and seeker. Okay, these were the four kind of players in the team. And who will be there in the role of seeker? That was the Harry Potter, who will be the seeker in the game. Like you must have seen in the game of cricket, some of them are batsmen, some of them are bowlers, some of them are good fielder, there is a one wicket keeper. So each and everyone has different jobs in the team. Like these are the different jobs of the player in the team. And you don't have to worry about the Quaffle or the Bloodgurs unless they crack my head open. And Oliver would explain that since you are the seeker, so you need not to worry about the Quaffle or the Bloodgur unless they would harm you. Don't worry, the Wesleys are more than a match for the Bloodgurs. I mean, they're like a pair of human Bloodgurs themselves. So, Harry Potter said, don't worry, it would not happen if the Wesleys will be playing. Wood reached into the crate and took out the fourth and the last ball. The first one was the red, the next two balls were identical and they were black, and only one ball which is to be explained was remaining in the crate, that was the fourth ball. Compared with the Quaffle and the Bloodgurs, it was tiny, about the size of a large walnut. So we have seen the largest ball was the Quaffle, then a little bit smaller than the Quaffle was the Bloodgur, and this one is the tiniest ball among all the four balls, and it was of the size of almost a large walnut. It was bright gold and had little fluttering silver wings. There were wings on the ball and it was bright gold. As you can see, it is also given in the picture, the ball that Harry Potter was holding in his hand. There are silver wings in the ball. This said word is the golden snitch, and it's the most important ball of the lot. He said that it is the golden snitch. The meaning of the snitch is basically steal, but here all these terms, the quaffle, the bloodgurs, or the snitch, are used to name the balls. Otherwise, the meaning of the snitch is steal. And its most important ball of the lot, means of all the four balls, this was the most important ball. It's very hard to catch because it's so fast and difficult to see. And he said that it is very much difficult to catch this ball because it is very fast, means it moves very fast, and it is difficult to see this ball as it is mentioned earlier, because the ball have the wings. You have got to weave in and out of the chasers, beaters, bloodguards, and quaffle to get it before the other team's seeker. And you have to move through. Weave means weaving, the thread weaving. So here it is mentioned that you have to move through all those weaves. Hoover will be there, the chasers will be there, the beaters will be there, bloodgoers, the quaffle, and you have to move through all these to hold, to have this ball, because whichever seeker catches the snitch, because whosoever will catch this ball wins his team an extra 150 points. See, for each goal they were getting only 10 points, but if someone will be able to get this ball, see, in both the teams there will be only one seeker. Okay, so here in this team, the Harry Potter, and the other team, the team who will be on the opposite end, there will be one seeker. So only two people will be there in the field who will be after this snitch, and whosoever will get this, that team will earn 150 points. So they nearly always win. So it is the probability that they will win the game. Because if you are earning a goal, you are earning only 10 points. And here straightforward, you are getting 150 points, which is equal to 15 goals. So in most of the cases, as we have seen in many of the matches, there is a probability, there is a prediction on the basis of the game. So if someone have this ball, then definitely there are more, in most of the cases, they nearly always win. In most of the cases, that team will win the game. That's why seekers get fouled so much. And in the action, or in the practice of getting this ball, this snitch, the seekers get fouled so many times because their focus is to catch the ball. A game of Quidditch only ends when the snitch is caught, and the game will be over only when one of the seekers will catch the snitch. So it can go on for ages. Means there is no time limit for the game. The game will end only when one of the seekers will catch the ball. So it will go for ages. I think the record is 3 months. Means the record, the maximum length of time this game is played, means by the time the snitch was caught by one of the seekers is 3 months. Means once the game has started and it continued for 3 months, and after 3 months one of the seekers caught the ball. They had to keep bringing on substitutes so that players could get some sleep, and they also had to manage the substitutes, because if a game is going on there continuously for 3 months, then obviously the players had to take some rest. So if some of the players of the game will take rest, we need to have the substitutes, as we have the extra players in the various teams, so that the one player when will take some sleep, the substitute will take the place of that player. Well, that's it. Any question? And now Oliver would say that this is all about this particular game. I explained you all the rules, all the things. Now, is there any question from your side that you want to ask? Harry shook his head. Means Harry denied. He understood what he had to do all right. By the time he understood his role, that what he has to do in the game, it was doing it that was going to be the problem. And as Oliver Wood said earlier, that it is easy to understand the rules of the game, but it is difficult to play the game actually. So now by the time he understood his role, what he has to do in the game, and he thought it was doing it, that was going to be the problem, that it is going to be a problem for him when he will be playing the game actually. So far as it is concerned about the rules of the game, he understood everything. As we have seen in the chapter, that every time when Oliver Wood was explaining him the rules of the game, every time he was repeating the things. So this is all about the explanation of this chapter.